Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, The Star in Your Child. I am Bhakti Rathod, Special Educator. If you're looking for sustainable results from our special buddies, Our Gifted Child, this channel is for you to get all the encouragement and tips. You are not alone, along with your million others. We together will rock it. So today's topic is yoga for special need children. We are so keen on developing our child's physical milestones that we totally ignore the child's self-esteem and self-acceptance. With yoga, we can develop their emotional, mental and spiritual well-being of the child as well. Now, consistency is the key here. Yoga with regular practice impacts or improves the central nervous system along with the areas I'm going to mention now. It builds strength, it develops flexibility, it creates body awareness, balance and coordination, it develops cognitive skills and language development, it develops sensory focus, it improves the social skills, connection with people and around them, and it definitely calms the child down a lot. Now, let us understand what is required to begin with yoga. So all you need to do yoga is a yoga mat, music, motivation, consistency. These are the 4 essential items that you would require to begin with doing yoga with your child. Remember, consistency is the key. You need to do this regularly so that you can see major difference in your child towards behavior, academics, health. It is a holistic approach. And before I could go further to give you the basic tips of yoga and to addressing various difficulties, who can do yoga, there's always a way to do yoga, okay? No matter if your child, no matter the difficulty, I don't want to mention the difficulty here, no matter the difficulty, your child has a way out to do yoga, and it is up to you to bring in that change in them. So let's get started. But before that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel till now, do that right away. Hit the bell icon as well so that you're notified every time I post a new video. Now let's get started with the basic tips that's required in order to begin with yoga. So the first tip that I'm going to mention here is planning. We need here certain guidance from either a yoga instructor, an occupational therapist or a physiotherapist who can guide us as to what the child requires the most, the area of concentration, which will help us to plan a schedule and work accordingly, and we can monitor their development gradually. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is to begin with basic asanas. Now, when you start with basic asanas, we need to make sure that we teach our child to hold a particular asana. Now, this can be gradually taken forward depending on the child's growth and strength development. You begin an asana with 5-second hold, and then increase it to 30 seconds, then to 1 minute and further on. Now all this will depend on how your child is progressing further. Tip number 3 would be to have mild music running in the background. Our children with special needs definitely have sensory issues. So if there's a soothing music that goes at the background, it helps a lot, especially for children with autism, ADD and ADHD. Tip number 4 is you need to start from where your child is and not from where you have planned for your child to start with. Now, once your child has gained amount of strength and flexibility, we can start with sequencing their asanas. And when you're sequencing the asanas, make sure you're going to make it very, very simple for them. You need to be extremely creative and flexible with this because, as I've always mentioned, each child is different and every child has their own difficulties. So we need to be flexible and create and sequence designed specially for our child. Now, for example, if your child is has vision difficulties, I would never like to call them blind, deaf, or that. I would rather say they have challenging vision. All you need to do is that you need to give them more verbal instructions. You need to physically hold them and get them doing the poses. That will help them to develop and remember the sequence or the particular asana very well. If your child has hearing difficulties, all you need to do is to give them a lot of demonstration. You need to demonstrate that to them, and also they are very good at reading lips. So the more you explain to them, if you know sign language, that will be great. The child will learn even faster. Now, if your child is having physical disabilities, they're not able to stand by their own, there is an option of chair yoga. Even for a child who is bedridden, there's always an option for them to do yoga where they are. As I mentioned earlier, that there's always a way to do yoga. And for children who are completely bedridden and couldn't do anything further, basic breathing exercises can help them. Also, even if that is challenging, you can give them guided imaginary meditation, which will help them to develop certain senses and grow well as they are. Now, as I mentioned, breathing exercises will help the child to stimulate the vital parts of their brain, and also have an impact on their central nervous system, and focus more on their strengths, and start with what is easy for them, and then focus or change towards the challenging areas. Now, coming to who can do yoga, anybody can do yoga, any age group, any disorder, any difficulty, as I've already mentioned earlier, and given you ideas of how to deal with children with certain difficulties. Now, again, if I want to give another example, is a child with cerebral palsy. Asanas, which include a lot of forward bends, backward bends, spinal twist, spine stretch, all these asanas will release the muscle tension and affect the overall nerve function. Now, what happens with time? There is increased movement and coordination in the child's physical growth, and that leads to a lot of independency in the child. So starting yoga at a minimum age of even 1, children within the age of 1 already do yoga asanas naturally, and if they're going to see their parents do yoga on a regular basis, they can pick up as early as 1 year as well. So starting yoga can be done anytime. You just have to model your child, do it yourself for your child to continue doing it for themselves. So there's no age group, any difficulty, and every challenge can be overcome. We can overcome that through yoga. Now let's see few asanas that can be done by any disorder, any child at home. Be it Down syndrome, be it ADHD, be it autism, be it ADD, be it cerebral palsy, all of these children can do these basic asanas. Let's see what are those. Now, we need to remember that we are dealing with special need children. Okay, they lack spatial orientation, as in how far to go, how much to open their leg, how much to close in. They do not have that idea, and they have delayed motor skills. So you may need to physically guide them to particular asana or to moving their body and getting to one particular pose or an asana. And while doing this, we need to ensure that we are extremely gentle, because children with special needs, most of them have low muscle tone, and that results in joint dislocation. So we need to be extremely gentle with them, and we need to give time, and move very slowly and give their muscle the time to respond to a particular asana or to a particular movement. Also, remember that child with muscle stiffness, what happens is that we need to give them yoga along with massages, and that will help them to relax their muscles and will help them immensely. Finally, when can you do yoga with your child? Yoga can be done at the minimum gap of 1 to 1.5 after a light meal and 2 to 3 hours gap after a heavy meal. So a child cannot do yoga as soon as he or she has had their food. So you need to give a gap of 1.5 hours after a light meal and 2 to 3 hours after a heavy meal. And during the yoga session, the child can sit in warm water, which will help them to stay hydrated. So in today's video, we saw why one should do yoga, what are the basic tips one should know before starting yoga with special needs children. We understood how, in spite of having difficulties, yoga is a way of living, and that can be implemented no matter what your difficulty is. We understood the basic precautions that one needs to take when doing yoga with special needs children. We understood who can do yoga. We understood when we can do yoga. So the whole episode, I hope I've played fair in explaining these basic, basics of yoga. So as I've mentioned always, each child is different. They react and perform differently to every activity. Being consistent in your efforts will definitely help. You are doing an amazing job. Let your child know they are best and amazing just the way they are. These yoga activities will definitely bring in huge change in their growth and overall development, and this holistic approach of yoga will definitely bring immense change in your child's health and behavior and spiritual well-being. If you found this video informative, worthy to share, knowledgeable, please let me know in the comment box down below, and do share, like and subscribe to my video. Till then, take care, bye-bye.